Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Downtown Kingston roads closed for Klansman trial. The police are advising members of the public that the intersection of King Street and Tower Street and the intersection of King Street and Barry Street in Kingston will be closed on Monday, September 20, to facilitate the trial of alleged Klansman gangsters in the Supreme Court. The road will be closed between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Andre Blackman Bryan, the reputed leader of the One Factor of the St. Catherine-based gang, and his alleged cronies, some of whom are relatives, are being tried under the anti-gang legislation for being part of the outfit which the police said accounted for 78 of the 134 murders committed in the St. Catherine North Police Division in 2017. Motorists are being asked to adhere to the directives of the police. St. Anne teacher Rochelle Williams reported missing. The police are seeking the help of the public to locate 34-year-old teacher Rochelle Williams, who has been reported missing. Williams, who is from Goshen District in St. Anne, has not been seen or heard from since Wednesday, September 15. She is of dark complexion, medium build, and is about 5 feet 2 inches tall. Reports from the Downtown Police are that at about 4 p.m., Williams was last seen at a plaza, dressed in a blue blouse and a black pants. Anyone with information is being asked to contact the Brownstown Police at 876-602-2563 or call the Police 119 emergency number or the nearest police station. Man shot and killed by police in St. Catherine. A probe has been launched into the fatal shooting of a man by the police in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. 33-year-old Dwight Huggins was shot on Friday night off Old Harbor Road. The police say a weapon was recovered. The police report that about 11:30 p.m., cops were in the area searching for a robbery suspect. Dwight was seen by the police and he reported to brandish a handgun and challenged the party. The police took evasive action and Dwight was shot during the exchange. According to the police, a Glock pistol containing several rounds of ammunition was seized from Dwight. He was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The Independent Commission of Investigations and the Police Inspectorate Branch are probing the matter. 21 people arrested for breaching DRMA in Portmore. A total of 21 people were arrested and charged for breaching the Disaster Risk Management Act, DRMA, in the Hellshire area of Portmore, St. Catherine on the weekend. The arrests were made by officers attached to the St. Catherine South Police Division as they continued their increased operational activities across the division. The unidentified individuals were charged between Friday, September 17 and Saturday, September 18, according to a social media post by the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The persons were observed breaching the regulations in the Hellshire area as well as along Newlands Road, the JCF stated. An additional 39 people were warned for breaching the DRMA during the same period. For his part, Superintendent in charge of operations, Hopton Nicholson, reminded citizens they would be prosecuted if they fail to adhere to the law. We are encouraging persons to obey the regulations as outlined in the Disaster Risk Management Act. Failure to do so will result in prosecution, he declared. 546 new COVID cases in Jamaica, 14 more deaths. Jamaica recorded 546 new COVID-19 cases and 14 deaths on Saturday, bringing the infection total to 79,673 and virus death total to 1,791. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported that the new cases comprised of 327 females and 216 males, with ages ranging from 1 day to 98 years. 3 additional cases are under investigation. The cases were recorded in St. Catherine, 148, Kingston and St. Andrew, 127, Manchester, 42, St. Thomas, 40, St. James, 35, St. Anne, 33, Trelawney and St. Elizabeth, 24 each, Clarendon, 25, Portland, 17, Hanover, 14, Westmoreland, 13, and St. Mary, 6. The latest deceased comprised of and 81-year-old female from St. Catherine, a 61-year-old male from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 66-year-old female from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 59-year-old male from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 54-year-old female from St. Elizabeth, a 64-year-old male from St. Elizabeth, a 72-year-old male from St. Elizabeth, a 94-year-old male from St. Elizabeth, an 87-year-old female from Manchester, an 80-year-old male from Manchester, a 91-year-old male from Manchester, a 76-year-old female from Manchester, a 90-year-old male from Manchester, and a 76-year-old female from Manchester. Jamaica has 26,556 active cases after 146 people recovered from the virus, bringing the total number of recoveries to 50,787. Currently, 723 people are hospitalized, 102 of which are severely ill, while 55 are critically ill and 150 are moderately ill. Opposition tours police stations in St. Andrew South. A tour was carried out earlier today by opposition leader Mark Golding in the St. Andrew South Division. Golding sought to inquire updates regarding crime and security measures within the Western Police Division.
Opposition leader Mark Golding on Saturday visited the Denham Town Police Station to follow up with the lawmen on various activities taking place in the area and also the challenges facing the division, especially amid the pandemic. While speaking with the media, Golding sought to highlight that in most cases, the youth who are involved in crimes are feuding among themselves and also take revenge on relatives and associates of their enemies. He notes the challenges the Denham Town Police are currently facing.
The main challenge that they have at the moment is twofold. They have cases ready for persons who are not yet in custody, who they have to find. And secondly, getting evidence to be able to sustain a charge and an effective prosecution. Because as you may know, in these communities, there is a culture of persons basically taking the law into their own hands and carrying out their own forms of justice.
The government's Rebuild, Overhaul and Construct project is ongoing, and when asked about the refurbishing of the police stations in the St. Andrew South constituency, Golding had this to say.
Well, I think that the police stations, some of them were in deplorable condition and they needed to be upgraded because that is where the police operate from, and it's not fair to them for them to having to work in very dilapidated and deplorable condition.
When asked about implementing zones of special operation, Golding says they have not been effective and notes that it opens the door for some members of the security force to abuse their power.
I wouldn't have a problem with it, but the truth is that even in Denham Town, where there is as also, they have tremendous problems with crime and violence still. And so, you know, the effectiveness of having a small area under ZOSA where it's surrounded by other areas which are essentially the same kind of conditions but are not receiving the same level of attention and investment, it doesn't really work as a strategy.
UHWI Field Hospital on its way to completion. Workmen are picking up the pace on the construction of a 48-bed field hospital on the grounds of the University Hospital of the West Indies, UHWI in St. Andrew. This is to further reduce pressure on the hospital's already strained resources in treating COVID-19 patients.
Just over 2 weeks after breaking ground at the University Hospital of the West Indies for a field hospital, construction is said to be progressing well. The project, aimed at assisting with the surge in COVID-19 admissions, is in the vicinity of the Emergency Medicine and Casualty Division. Already pipes have been laid and the foundation and retaining wall have been constructed to provide a level space adjacent to the existing facility. When our news team visited the site on Saturday, workmen were seen assembling the units and fastening the nuts and bolts to keep them in place. Based on preliminary configuration, a total of 20 container units will be installed. The facility is expected to provide bed spaces for 48 confirmed and suspected COVID-19 patients.
Behind me you can see the base, which is in place now, and so what is happening today is that we're beginning to see the placement of the actual structures that will eventually house the patients who are suspected or confirmed to have COVID-19, those patients that cannot be accommodated within the designated spaces within the hospital. So this is really overflow space for treatment of the increasing number of COVID-19 patients that we are seeing in this third surge.
The management of the hospital says the modular facility will be equipped to operate autonomously and will offer high-quality medical assistance. They say the field hospital is designated to withstand any type of climate and is adaptable to any environment. The deadline for the completion is projected for the end of September.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.